Okay, we're on the road up to Gooseberry Cove. Ivan and Damien and myself and you going to get the cod. It's pretty exciting. It's a beautiful day today too. So we just passed Whitburn, just had a little bite to eat there. And can't wait to get up there. We should be there in about 45 minutes. The most important thing to any chef is a steady supply of fresh product.
During the off-season, this can be a real problem, especially when you're the owner-operator of one of the finest seafood restaurants in St. John's.
About 2 weeks ago, I was going through my emails and I noticed an email came in from a Valerie Johnson, so I clicked on it, and it turns out that her and her partner Claude have a cod ranch out in Gooseberry Cove, Newfoundland, and was wondering if we were interested in trying their fish. So I said, sure.
Newfoundland's history is rooted in the fishery, and for generation after generation, Newfoundlanders have taken to the water in pursuit of the cod. Due to excessive foreign overfishing, in the early 1990s, a moratorium was placed on the cod fishery. In order to continue the commercial cod fishery, Newfoundlanders were forced to come up with innovative ways to not only fish, but also to protect and nurture the cod stock. Nestled along the coast of Trinity Bay, Gooseberry Cove is a small Newfoundland community rooted in the fishery. And it's here at the government wharf that we meet Claude Seward and Valerie Johnson, owner and operators of the Gooseberry Cove Cod Ranch.
So we arrived at the dock there, and there was Valerie and Claude and their niece welcoming us there, which was great. We unloaded the van, we got our stuff into the boat, and we were off.
Being in an open boat on the waters off Newfoundland can be cool even in the summer months, but this was January 9th, and just a little above -9.
It was a beautiful spot. We headed out in the boat right at sunset. It was magnificent, but incredibly cold.
Mike's passion for cooking takes him well beyond the kitchen, and he was eager to share this experience with his two chefs.
I would like to see how the product coming in a restaurant, how the fish is feeding, rising, to the farmers, to explain everything of the process, because it's important for the chefs to know how the product looks before to coming in a restaurant.
On the boat ride up to Ship Cove, I was sure hoping that Claude was going to ask me to go out and harvest the fish with him, and sure enough he did.
After a short 10-minute boat ride, Claude slows the boat and we make the turn into Ship Cove. Claude's operation is 100% eco-friendly, and the abundance of Newfoundland wind provides all the power needed.
Pull up net till we get over to this side.
Okay.
Then we take them with the dip net, the big net, and dip them in the big boat.
So you got the top net, and then there's a big net in there that you pull
Yeah,
over.
there's not a net down under there.
3 large netted pens hold the thousands of codfish. Yellow strobe lights line the pens. This helps to discourage otters, who will often kill the codfish just for sport.
So Claude was eager for us to try his fish, so Ivan volunteered to do the cooking.
Now, Ivan, don't make any mistakes because you're on camera.
No pressure, Ivan.
No. It isn't very long before Ivan has dinner ready, and everyone settles in for a comfortable evening.
It was fantastic. Right out of the water that morning, I knew we had to get that fish to the customers. It was the best fish I ever tasted.
The next morning dawns bright and clear, and it's even warmed up a few degrees. We're on the go pretty early. Mike cooks up a welcome hot breakfast and is eager to get out on the water. A little after 7:30 and Claude rounds the point, and he's brought along his brother Viv to lend a hand. It's normally a four-man job, but Claude figures that Mike's up for the challenge. Mike wrangles the second boat, and it's time to get to work.
There's a net lining basically underneath where the fish are swimming around, and so they've got their boat inside this cage, and they're pulling on one end of the nets to bring the cod up and ready to be taken out.
Despite the cold weather, all hands are ready to go. The cod begin to sense the activity above.
So as they're pulling up on the netting, you can start seeing hundreds of these cod swimming around there, getting all excited. And I'm getting excited because I just can't wait to get the net and start hauling them out.
It isn't easy work, and it requires every ounce of strength. It's incredible when the cod break the surface. These are the very best, hand-fed and nurtured. At this point, there's hundreds of fish thrashing at the surface, and it's time for Mike to get the net.
Fish are so big, they're huge. They're about at least 18 inches long. So he's got a big net. So we're basically just using the net and scooping one at a time, maybe two if we can fit it in the net, and putting it right into the other boat where it's going to be processed.
Mike handles the fish as gently as he can, and scoop after scoop he begins to fill the boat.
Claude actually started to process the fish right there and then inside the boat.
With a quick slice of the knife, the fish are made ready for gutting and processing.
Then we bring it back into the cabin right there by the dock, and they're ready to be gutted.
Mike plans on taking about 200 pounds of cod back to the restaurant. And there are some big fish in this catch.
One Dave was probably about 15 pounds. About 20 pounds for the god in it. About 20 pounds.
With all the fish offloaded back at the cabin, it's time for a bit of a break. As the evening sets in, the guys begin the gutting process of the cod. And Mike quickly learns their secret.
Having a sharp knife. And lots of rubber gloves.
For seasoned fishermen like Claude, this is a very fast process. In no time at all, Mike's 200 pounds of cod are gutted, placed in containers, and are readied for the short trip back to the dock the next morning.
Well, it was a real snowy morning in January, I tell you. Couldn't believe it. The cages were covered in snow. We even saw a couple of seals around, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we just basically packed up, got on our warm clothes, and started hauling the crates of fish into his fishing boat, getting ready to leave.
Claude takes his time, and we begin to ease our way out through the slop ice. The open water on the bay is another story.
The snow was so heavy, the wind was blowing a gale. that I had to get out my ski goggles and put them on so I could see where we were going. Oh man, the trip was amazing.
Awesome, eh?
Awesome, now we're leaving in the snowstorm.
Despite the cold and snow, it's still a beautiful trip. Even in weather like this, there's a surreal beauty to the Newfoundland coastline. It only takes about 10 minutes, and then we're back at the government wharf.
At the wharf, he's got a crane, so he started lifting out the crates of cod, 2 crates at a time because it's so heavy, and brought it basically right onto the wharf, and then we just lifted them up. It took 2 of us to lift them, carry them, and put them into his truck.
Despite the increasing bad weather, Claude and Mike make pretty fast work of the offload. With the snowfall getting heavier, the question now is whether or not we'll make it out of the cove.
The truck is full of fish now. There's a lot of snow on the ground there, still snowing hard, and now we gotta move on and go out to the fish plant.
We find the road pretty good, and Mike calls ahead at the fish plant to make sure they're ready. Everything goes smooth, and we begin to make our way back into St. John's.
We are just so happy that we made this connection with Claude and Valerie. For them to invite us out, see how the cod is being caught, the whole experience, is just incredible. And now we get to serve it at the restaurant year-round.
So we're thrilled at Bacalao to be serving the Gooseberry Cove cod. The fact that customers are looking for a local, sustainable source of whatever product that it is we serve. They're thrilled to know that it's a branched cod as well. This is very innovative technology. It's new, it's sustainable. It's organic in the way that it's raised, and then the fact that it's processed in the way that it is results in a really superior quality.